There's a marker there that says Lighthouse 1 mile. On the other side, which will give the game away, it says Campbelltown 15 miles. And we're on the Mull of Kintyre. And the lighthouse is just behind that rock. And it's about 18 degrees. It's pleasant. The walk down is seriously steep. And the drive up was unbelievably steep. I don't think the crafts will get up here. And out there in the distance is an island. So this is the Mull of Kintyre lighthouse. We're not going to walk the mile or so down to the bottom there because we're not fit enough. But that is the lighthouse. I feel like I'm being eaten alive up here. Are we covered in bugs?
No, I think you're on midges.
Yeah, I think we're being midged, yeah. We've been eaten alive by midges! Let's just zoom around a little bit. A bit more of the road going down there. But we've suddenly been invaded by midgy bug things. And there's a ship out there, which I probably can't get on the camera today. After an exhilarating walk and a nice lunch, it was time to find a park up for the night. Seal View sounded interesting, but first, did I mention the scenery? I won't include all the dashcam footage going down, but it's certainly a lovely place to drive down from.
Ferries. I think we've made a good call not coming in tomorrow. Where? Oh yeah. Yeah. There's one, there's one more. First. Look at it go. Look at it go. Back to the woods. Probably went for a drink, look.
No, it's been up coming.
I think it's come out the woods for a drink.
Alright, something like that. Scary thing.
That was worse here, wasn't it? They could run faster than you or a bunny, Sam.
Yeah.
So that is a potential stop point.
I don't want that bloke got marked in it.
A whole load of lights come up now. Yeah,
On that post?
yeah, I see it. How it is, but traction control and ABS light. Yeah, what's that then? That's not a buzzard, is it?
I don't think so.
Skid and ABS and everything because the back wheels are now gone faster than the front ones. Really? That isn't a buzzard.
No, I have hen harriers which are
Quite a big,
slightly smaller than a buzzard.
quite a big bird of prey.
Yeah.
I mean, that might just be a standard eagle.
Might be.
Wherever the standard eagle is.
Are you sure it's coming?
Two out there. Two out there. Did they, didn't they? rear-wheel drive can be used, you see all four wheels are also under engine braking.
At one point, something rather interesting happened. The bumps were so violent, the rear wheels jumped up in the air, and at that point it caused the ABS warning light to come on and the skid control warning light to come on, and I discovered that in the event that happens, the Telma retarder is also disabled. So not having an efficient braking system going down a steep hill isn't a good idea, so I stopped, turned the engine on and off, and reset everything.
Retarder's gone off because of the error messages. It's been disabled. I need to stop and turn the ignition on and off to reset it all. Right, I'm going to stop and reset this. Now, so because we've jumped over all those bumps and all the rotation of the wheels got all messed up, the ABS everything disabled itself. So now we're getting proper braking. Feel the retarder coming in. Don't want to go down these hills without that extra get brake fade from overheating. You can actually feel that extra bit of retardate.
Nice.
Nice, isn't it? So we need.
And there was a sign back there that said off the beach, so you need to be in a position where you can get out.
We're going to go down up on the block, so like it's only blocks. So we're going to invade. To get between the cars here.
Karen's collecting pebbles on the beach. Sam doesn't want to be on the beach. Sam wants to be up here in the grass looking for bunnies. So there's the vans over there at the foot of that cliff. And just a look at this. It's a massive bay. Sun's going down behind those cliffs over there towards the Mull of Kintyre lighthouse. Other than those people walking back over there, we're the only ones here. And we still haven't seen any seals yet, but I don't care. What a cracking place to come and visit. Let alone be able to stay the night. And who knows what tomorrow morning might bring. And then just round the side there is a place called Southend, which is hilarious. Seeing as I spent quite a lot of my working career working in Southend in Essex. I bet it's a very different Southend. We're going to visit it tomorrow. I got my bearings wrong yesterday. That's the coast of Northern Ireland over there. Sunrise coming up behind me, as you can see from my shadow. So behind that piece of rock over there is the Mull of Kintyre lighthouse. Tide's going out again by the looks of it, sort of 12 hours later.
There's a track above those sand dunes there, you can walk along. Still haven't seen any seals. I'm not overly bothered. There's plenty of those on Anglesey. And the sun came around that piece of rock. Some of these rocks are fantastic colours. They're oranges and browns. Those ones in the foreground, for example. And the pebbles on the beach are really, really tiny. Ideal for making, well, Karen's collected a whole load for making some pictures. But quite a few vans parked up in this car park. We'll be clearing off soon, make room for the locals. There's one person right over there in the distance walking a dog. But this is a very, very, very nice beach. Right on the very tip of this peninsula, or whatever it's called. But the clouds over there on the horizon are on top of Northern Ireland. And we were watching that's where our TV signal came from last night over there. Very, very strong signal. We're doing the scenic route up from Campbelltown to Tarbert. And this is Loch Doon and Dun. It's built very much like a brock. If you've ever been to the Brocks at Elgin, you know what I mean. We're parked just up there in a Forestry Commission car park. This isn't a huge castle or fort. It's probably about 60 feet across. But if I walk up, the walls are covered in lichen, sedums I think they are, small ferns. Almost a little natural alpine garden. And over there is a little cell. Storage chamber perhaps, or maybe an entrance, but there is a hole above it. There's a similar entry there, and the entrance is just there. You know, from the outside it doesn't look much, but the inside, you know, it's clearly a man-built structure. Distance is an old chapel. That's Arran over there, the Isle of Arran. We've driven up all the way from the southern point along the scenic route. Came along this road to look at some of the park-ups, but they're all full with caravans and people look like they've been there for days and days and days. So we'll go and find somewhere else to stop tonight. about the actual castle itself. Really warm colours from those red pieces of sandstone. Near a cockerel. There we go, just from roads I've never done before. So I think we've never been over there. I don't think ever. So this little road that we're on, where we're parked today, this sign just made me giggle. The road ahead goes on for a long, long way right down to a beach. There's the Isle of Bute over there. That's just funny. I like things like this. Wait for all this traffic to go.
Yes, before anybody else comes in.
Why are you squeaking, Sam? You are not going bunny hunting. So this is the Doon ferry, different company this time. And it's Sunday afternoon. We were thinking about staying in Doon for a while, but it's all grey and grizzly. Sunny's supposedly over there somewhere, so we're going to go over there somewhere to find it. And then head down to Galloway, one of the forests in Galloway, to spend the night. One of the guys working at the Doon ferry port was very, very interested in this converted ambulance, to the point where they let us on almost immediately, even though we were really technically right last in the queue. So we're at the front of the boat with a decent view. And the weather forecast says the sunshine is about an hour away, but the sunshine's been about an hour away all day today, and I think it's cobblers. So we're going to go off down the coast road all the way down to Loch Doon and look at the castle that got moved when they flooded the loch. So the guy in this Land Rover just came over and had a chat. He saw us at the last park up. He's been sitting on the ferry watching video of our van, so we just had a chat with him. But there we are, just coming in at Gourock. is Loch Doon. That mound over there is where the original castle stood, I believe. It is now up there. Rebuilt in 1935. This is probably the main river feeding Loch Doon, and we're currently parked up to the left of that little island over there, which is where the castle originally stood. The sun's setting behind me. I'm just taking a recce around here, because there's a spot just there we can probably stay the night, and it would be better than where we're currently parked, which is a little bit too much litter for my liking. Now on the other side of Loch Doon, walked along the forestry track for a while, give the dog a walk before we head down into Yorkshire. You can see those yurts over there in the distance, and the castle is just to the right of it. Not sure how well this is going to zoom in, let's give it a go. There. We're going to explore that waterfall in a minute, if we can get to it. I must stop talking with my glasses in my mouth. We're going to go down to that waterfall in a minute and have a closer look, but it looks pretty from here. And this is called Carrick or Carrick Lane, this watercourse. We're parked just by the bridge. It feeds into that part of Loch Doon there, and that smaller area there was still dead still yesterday, and we could see fish rising and taking flies. And just around the corner where we walked, there are fishermen set up with their tents. A bit closer to the waterfall. Still got hazy sunshine. It's nice and warm. The weather's just been exactly what we wanted. Not too unpleasantly hot, but plenty of daylight and plenty of sunshine.
Might be a bit like this in Norway though. Although the roads looked quite good, didn't they? Galloway Forest Park. Famous black grouse. Where are they? Where's the famous black grouse then?
Where are they?
You can't find them in the snow.
We decided to take the Forest Drive route, even though it's going to be about 3/4 of an hour longer. It's a much more picturesque route. We just came around a bend and saw the dam, so we stopped. And there's water pouring down over there, which I'll film in a minute, but look at that. And then behind us, a scene of total devastation. Right, let's try not to drop my phone over the edge. We park the van down there. You can just see the water, well, maybe see the water coming over the dam over there. But there's this walkway that goes all the way along to the edge of the road. So you can actually have a really nice walk along the entire dam. We just stopped for lunch on the road to Newton Stewart. Saw a fantastic milestone about 2 miles up the road, which I took a photograph of, which I will insert into the video. Donated by the Bank of Scotland. Really nice looking thing. This is a location that's recently appeared on the Part of the Night app. I got here just now. There was about 5 cars of lads here, and they've all been up in this tower spitting and smoking and God knows what, but they've cleared off now. The views from this tower are absolutely incredible. The sun is setting and it's very, very misty, unfortunately, but right down there you can just see the sun reflecting on the sea. That's Morecambe Bay. Oh, focus you stupid thing. There she goes. So that's Morecambe Bay in the distance. It's, the camera's struggling because of the poor quality light. I'm also surrounded by midges. Midges come from Scotland. Hardly any experience of midges at all. You can see the little castellations of the tower I'm standing in. We're not sure whether we're going to stay here the night. We may go down into the village further down. Is it visible? Further down that road there. But just look at the views. And then right over there in the distance, is it going to show on this camera? Probably not. Over in the distance is a I can't, unfortunately this tripod doesn't go high enough. But in the distance with a little stone building. But look at the scenery. I haven't got my other tripod with me, unfortunately, so I can't do proper pan and scan. I've just got a ball. I'll zoom back out a bit. There's a van over there. Karen's cooking dinner. We've just driven down from Loch Doon, so it's about 175 miles. That's far enough for one day. And let's see if I can get anything in on this effect over there. Oh, there's a boat. You can see her. Look at that. I don't know how this is going to come out when I actually review this, but looking on the monitor, that's very yellow, isn't it? Try to zoom in a bit more. Now the focus is going. That is not a sunrise, a sunset rather, that is the water. Good heavens. So this is where we landed last night. And some of you will recognise a few of these vans. It was at Red Cross that we saw first of all. Then Richie from beyond the van, dogs in the pickle. We don't know the people at the end there. Well, we do now, but we didn't at the time. And here comes a cyclist. And I have met Rob before in the white van next to us at Stratford, that Greg Virgo's do. And we spent some time around their campfire until well into the early hours of the morning. An excellent end to our trip to Scotland, and a total surprise to find these people here. We were literally just moving down from Jubilee Tower. I didn't feel right, didn't feel comfortable there, and we were going to go down to the village car park. And in the village they have a very interesting cafe called the Puddle Duck or something like that. Anyway, we're going to have a look at it later on after lunch. So these were the sights that greeted us as we came down this road last night. Didn't recognise this van, recognised that one there with the Red Cross on it, and obviously I know this van very well because I've worked on it. And then we saw the green one from beyond the van and thought, hello, what a surprise. Last night we decided not to stay at Jubilee Tower. It was attracting too many of the wrong sort of young adults for my liking, and their behaviour was pretty disgraceful, throwing glass bottles out of the windows of their cars. So we decided to move down the road, and I'm glad we did, because we came across lots of friends. Didn't even know they were here. They didn't know we were anywhere near the vicinity, and we had a lovely evening round their campfire. Really an ideal end to a cracking holiday, perhaps before we all go into lockdown and can't go out to play for 7 more months. But I'm just walking Sam. We're in a part of we're in Lancashire. I've never explored this area ever, and this is a really nice location. Scenery around here is spectacular. It started off this morning a bit foggy. I think we're going to be taking a few visits up here in the not too distant future. Maybe spend a week here on our next trip to Scotland. Quite fancy going up the top of that hill. I'm a bit puffed out. The scenery just gets better and better and better up here. These are some seriously high hills. There's sheep down there. We're parked up just behind those trees. It's warm. But that is that's where we drove down through last night, down through that valley, or a bit of it. And of course in the dark you can't see what you're missing. I'm glad we stopped here. No, that's not an ambulance down there. They're preparing to close the road for some roadworks in 4 days' time.